What's up you guys, it's Ben and welcome to my channel. So for today's video, what I wanted to do is cover the brand registry issue that a lot of us new sellers are getting when it comes to listing your very first product. Amazon are now trying to tackle the hijacker problem that they have been facing over the last few years. And very recently, they've come up with an issue to provide to us, an obstacle for us to overcome when it comes to listing a new product. They have been bombarded with so many generic products on their marketplace that the regulators from EU and America are pushing them to do something about it. So that's the reason why they have come up with this error code. However, don't be worried. If you don't have a brand registered, if you don't have a trademark just yet, that's not an issue at all. There are ways to overcome this, and I will show you them in this video. So, first things first, when it comes to selling on Amazon, you have to, before you look at any other YouTube videos, be aware of their policies when it comes to absolutely every part of the business. So make sure you familiarize yourself with the Amazon brand name policy. In here, they will basically provide you 90% of all the answers you need when it comes to listing your first product as it pertains to the branding issue, okay? Now, there are two ways, in my opinion, to overcome this issue. Previously, I told my students to put in the brand name field NA, okay, to basically say to Amazon that this is the product does not have a brand, please let me list it regardless, and then once we get the brand, we'll change it. However, that no longer works. So now what Amazon has asked us to do is basically, if you're listing a non-branded product, you should use the word generic in the brand attribute field, okay? So try that first. To make your life as easy as possible in the very beginning, just type in generic and see if Amazon allows you to save and finish. I mean, we are on Amazon's page, so if they're saying that this works, it must work. However, if it doesn't work and you still keep getting this error message, which is 5665, I will show you a way of what to do for you to overcome this problem. And you may get a few error messages like 5661, 5664, or 5665. So let's talk about this last one, because that is the issue that most of us are getting at the moment. Now, before we talk about it, here is an example of what Amazon basically says to us is the perfect image of what exactly they're looking for, okay? And when it comes to this, if your brand is eligible for brand registry, you can obtain an exception by contacting seller partner support, which I'll show you in a minute, and mentioning the error code 5665. When contacting seller partner support, please provide the following information: the brand name used when creating the listing, okay? So whatever brand name that you can come up with, put that into the seller support ticket, and then use real world images of the product and or packaging showing branding on either, okay? So the product branding image can be on the product itself or on the packaging, and then the images can show the product and or packaging held in hand or placed on a table. The branding must be permanently affixed. So basically what this means is that they are not accepting like a 3D image. They don't want a photoshopped image. They want a real image where the product is either held in a hand or placed on a table, so they can verify that this is an actual product. And then the branding must be permanently affixed. What that basically means, guys, is that you cannot use a sticker, okay? You cannot stick a little label of your brand onto a product. It has to be permanently put there, so you can't rub it off, you can't take it off in any way, shape, or form. So what do? Well, two things. Number one, you can just simply take a picture of the sample that you got from your Chinese supplier and Photoshop the brand on top of it, which I'll show you in a minute. Or you can just ask the supplier, because clearly they will have the product, to just take one picture of the brand in their hand, of the product, excuse me, in their hand or on the table, and then you can play around with that picture. You only need one or two pictures, and any reputable supplier should not have any issues doing that for you, okay? So what I've done for this example, I've actually taken a picture of my baking tray because I'm actually looking to buy a new one, and it's clearly a generic product, or at least it doesn't have any branding. It's clearly, as you can see, just a glass tray, and that's it. So what do you do? How can I make this Amazon appropriate, acceptable? And it's very, very simple. All you need to do is just add a heading. Now I can't come up with a brand on the top of my head, so I'll just say my brand. Okay, now this is not going to look legitimate just yet, so what we'll do is we'll change the color to something a bit darker. Let's do black. Then we're going to move that to the side. I think that looks a bit better. We're going to make that smaller. Okay. Now, so far this looks very, very photoshopped, and clearly I think Amazon, even though they're being run by bots and monkeys effectively, will not approve that. But what you can do is very, very easily just play around with the transparency and drop it down, in my opinion, to about 35, 30, and you will see how much better that image looks straight away. All of a sudden, that is, as you can see, it's not part of the image. I can still move it around, but it looks much more authentic and much more real. And then just to make it a little bit more trustworthy of an image effectively, we'll just do that on the second product as well. Okay, line them up nicely, and there you go. Now that image, in my opinion, works absolutely perfectly with Amazon's terms and conditions. So what you then do is simply download the image, save it, and make sure to save it as your product. So my brand front or back, or my brand packaging, or whatever, to make it look as authentic as possible, because when you attach it on the seller support ticket, they will see the file name, and you want to make it look as authentic as possible. So we go into the seller support ticket, and if you don't know how to do this, all you have to do is just click on help, then get support, and then selling on Amazon. And then we'll choose trouble adding a product, okay? And here, contact reason. So they said to mention the error 5665, which we've done, and then unable to list, and then my brand, which is the brand name that you're going to choose. And then what we'll do is, hi, could you please approve my brand to be sold on Amazon? Okay, UK. Okay, please see evidence attached. Thanks, Ben. Okay, and that is all you need to do, nothing else. Amazon likes it when you keep things as simple as possible. Don't say, oh, I've been doing this and that, why can't you approve me, blah, 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 blah. Just nice and simple. And then what you do simply is you choose the email contact method, you type in your email here, you make sure that the issue is urgent and requires immediate attention, to make sure that they respond to you as quickly as possible. You want to start selling it as quickly as possible. Amazon need to get a move on effectively. And then last but not least, you're going to add attachments, and you're going to add that image that you just created via Canva. And like I said before, make sure that the file name is appropriate for what you're trying to achieve. And that's pretty much it. Then you're going to click send, and it will come up with a case, and usually Amazon is going to come back to you within a day or so, usually even less, approving your product. And then it will allow you to save and finish that image, and then that's pretty much it. Then you'll be able to start selling that product straight away. However, what I would recommend you guys, once you start selling and you know that product is selling quite well, apply for the trademark, apply for your own brand, so you don't have to go through this process every single time. It makes your life so much easier, and it actually pains me to see how many obstacles Amazon is creating for brand new sellers that don't know how to sell on Amazon and that don't know what they need to do. So make sure you get these things in place to make your life so much easier when it comes to bringing in new products, because once you start scaling up to 5, 10, 15 products, you want to bring in products pretty much every other week or every other month, and you really don't want to be going through this process with your suppliers all the time. So that's pretty much it for today's video. I really hope you guys found it useful. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe and like the video. I really would appreciate your support, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.